We are back. Welcome to the What You Drinking segment of the show. Guys, I've got something special for you. If you haven't seen it on Instagram yet, I definitely recommend you check out our Instagram page. We alluded to this in the last episode we recorded, but we have got our second ever early release access to a beer from Farmhouse Brewing Company. Thank you again to Lauren for hooking us up with that. It was awesome to meet you in person and looking forward to working with you guys. Hopefully get you guys on the show one day. But what I've got for you guys today is the Monarch IPA from Farmhouse Brewing. This actually released today. We got this about a week early. I put up a full written review on the website, so make sure you check that out. But I felt like I definitely needed to drink this on the show and show it to you guys in the flesh. So with that said, let's go ahead and crack this open. But this is a New England style IPA. It's 7.5% ABV, brewed with 3 different type of hops. So Eldorado, Cascade, and Citra hops. Let me back up here so I don't spill on my keyboard.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. Looking good so far, man. Not a lot of head on this so far. It's looking like a really good pour.
Wait for it.
There it is. That's what you want to see. Wow.
All right.
Look at that.
Oh, here it comes. Yeah, I was like, I remember the first time there was some head on this thing. So in the official Ginger in the beer glass, you can see a very nice, kind of moderate thick head there. Very nice deep golden color to it. A little bit hazy, slightly hazy, but not super, super cloudy. So yeah, I've had this beer before. Usually the beers we drink on the show is the first time experiencing it, but just to kind of reiterate what I said in the written review, the first, sort of when it touches the nostrils, is that a thing? Can you say that? I don't know.
Yeah, I
Do
think
people
so.
say that?
I don't know.
The first kind of aromas that I get from this, grapefruit, mango, and actually like a scent, kind of a touch of watermelon. I described in the review, it's like almost like a sweet smell to it. Like a lot of these IPAs, with multiple types of hops, they're like so hoppy that the first thing you smell, you just smell the hops right off the bat. It's like that bitter sort of smell to it. But this one's almost like sweet. It's very fruity, tropical. And that's thanks in part to the Cascade hops. I think the Cascade is what brings out that grapefruit. So let me go ahead and give this a sip.
Nice.
Just as good as the first time.
Nice. So you already drank a can of this?
Yeah, I had a can of this for the review.
Nice.
For the written review on the website. So I definitely recommend you guys go and check that out, thegingerinthebeard.com. But I really enjoy this IPA, guys. I think, the biggest takeaway for me is like simplicity. I wrote in the review, like a lot of these IPAs today are competing for like shelf space and for people's attention when you're walking through the aisles at Total Wine. And they've got these polarizing designs. Their label designs are crazy and colorful and in your face. Clearly, if you're not watching the video here, the can design on this very simplistic fits perfectly in line with Farmhouse's IPA series, this white label. Anytime you see a white label from Farmhouse, that means it's part of their IPA series, with just a Monarch butterfly on the front. Obviously, the name being Monarch. So the simplicity to me kind of is represented not only in the design, but the flavor too. So I get a lot of that fruit forward when I taste it. With the first sip, I get a ton of grapefruit, a little bit of the mango, and then the longer it kind of sits on my tongue for a second, that hoppiness starts to come out and reveal itself a little bit, but it's not overpowering. Like some of the designs are polarizing, but also the flavor profiles are very polarizing with a lot of IPAs. Like the one I had last week, a hoppy coffee beer, hazy coffee IPA. It's just like so odd in my mouth. I wasn't sure what to make of it, but this is like perfectly smooth and just well-rounded the whole way through. And the best thing about it, even after I take a second sip, you don't get the lingering bitterness that you get with some of these like overly hopped IPAs. And to me personally, for my personal preference, I actually enjoy that lingering hoppiness. It's like I'm tasting the beer constantly from sip to sip. So I enjoy that. But for somebody who's kind of like easing their way into IPAs or, not really a fan of the bitterness, like I know you're not a huge fan of the bitterness.
Right.
It's not sticking with you and like annoying you until the next sip, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense to me, somebody that doesn't really like IPAs as much. Certainly not the bitter, the more bitter ones that have that lingering, intense bitterness to it. So it sounds like this is something that, I could get hip to.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like I said, it's not overly bitter at all. That head sort of lingers around a little bit. That's one thing I noticed, but it doesn't bother me that much. Some of the beers that I've reviewed on the show before have actually been described of having like a soapy texture to the head. And this one, though it kind of lingers around, it's quite fine bubbles, and it doesn't bother me so much. Like that soapy texture sometimes can really distract from the flavor of the beer, but this one definitely doesn't bother me as much. And there is kind of that lacing as you drink it down. The head kind of sticks with the glass. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, just something that I noticed. But yeah, overall, this is a really good beer. And as I pour the rest of the can out, some of that hazier texture comes through. It's not heavy. It's not, I'd describe it sort of like light to medium body. Very smooth. I mean, just overall, again, simple, smooth. I mean, very well balanced flavor profile. Definitely recommend this for somebody that's not, super experienced with IPAs or these heavily bittered beers. And overall, just super well rounded. And again, thankful for Farmhouse for giving us access to that to show on the show here, and obviously on the website as well. So thank you guys once again. Had to represent the Farmhouse t-shirt.
Nice.
Represent. So again, thank you guys. That was very awesome and kind of you to give that to us. So definitely, guys, if you're in Hampton Roads, I know a lot of our listeners are local to Virginia Beach. I would recommend you stop by and pick yourself up a 4-pack, and hopefully maybe we'll see this out in some stores as well.
Yeah, dude, hopefully. But yeah, I definitely want to come down and get my hands on that. It's probably seasonal though, so probably by the time I get down there, it won't be there anymore, right?
We'll see. Knows? I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean they release beers so often that they kind of get replaced, but yeah, maybe I'll save one for you. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see if I can do
You're going to have like a whole cooler full of beers that you're saving for me by the time I get down there.
This is a box in my refrigerator that says, "The Beard's beers, don't touch."
When I show up, it's like, don't even talk to me. Just start drinking this beer
Just
right
drink
now.
This one. You must try all of these.
Drink them all. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what about you, man? We had a poll up this week for you. And what did the voters decide on for you?
Yeah, so I had a Abita Brewing Pecan, whatever you want to call it.
Pecan
Ale that took the cake here. It was against an Ale Works pumpkin ale. I was a bit surprised. I didn't think this one was going to win, but it did. A lot of people voted for it. I think it was like 70% to 30%. It was, the scales were tipped heavily towards the Pecan Ale.
Pecan.
And this is a twist top. I was just looking for a bottle opener, but look at that. Haven't had one of these in a... Wait, no, it's not. This is not a twist top. Never mind.
No, it's not. My hand is bleeding. It's not a twist top.
Hold on, I have to go on a break. Yeah, now I gotta and I didn't bring a can opener, but it's all right. I got this knife here. Oh my god, I just shot that thing off into the sky. Anyway.
And now your other hand is bleeding now.
There's so much blood everywhere. Is this Halloween? No, it's just me bleeding. Anyway. All right. So, so Abita Pecan Ale. It's 20 IBU, 5.2% ABV, made with real Louisiana roasted pecans. Let me see if I'm going to go ahead and pour this. Hopefully I don't hit my keyboard. Got a nice amber color to it. No haziness. You can kind of just see right through it. We got some nice uniform head. Oh, I love seeing the uniform head on there like that. Very nice. Cool. Yeah, nice. Go nuts is what the bottle says. Pecan Ale, go nuts.
I'm glad this one won because I'm so curious about how this tastes.
I'm pretty curious as well, but yeah, we'll find out here in a second. Roasted pecans are added in the brew house. It should have a nutty flavor and aroma, so we'll find out soon. It's brewed with pale Munich biscuit and caramel malts, and also Willamette hops. So I don't really know anything about Willamette hops, but I'm expecting a lot of caramel, pecan, nutty flavors here. So let me give it a smell. Has a slightly nutty aroma. Not really picking up on too much there. Smells pretty good though. I like the color of it. That's what color, really takes me. That color.
Yeah.
Let's give it a sip. Slight bitterness. Yeah. So 20 IBUs makes sense. Yeah, it's definitely, very slightly nutty. I'm not really getting a whole lot of that. I was expecting a bit more pecan to like hit
Yeah.
me, cuz in my brain I think I was thinking of like pecan pie, right? And I
Right,
probably
right.
shouldn't have been, because this is more like, this wasn't going for like a sugary flavor, I don't think. This was going more for like the subtle aroma, subtle taste of pecans, which I think they got. I'm trying to pick up on the roasty kind of flavor, but I'm not getting that yet either. It's definitely there though. I think I would say, for it being an ale, if I were just to think of this as just like a plain ale, and take all of the pecan flavor out of it, this is an easy drinking kind of like beginner level ale, in my opinion. This is something that I think somebody just getting into the craft brew game, especially during the fall season, could pick up one of these, and it's not going to like, they're not going to take a sip of it and be like, "Oh, I'm never touching an ale again." They would drink this and be like, "Well, that's interesting. Let me have another sip." Okay. Okay, I kind of get what's going on here. So, this is something that I would definitely drink during the fall time. I don't think this would necessarily be something I would drink in the really cold winters months. I'd have to switch over to the stouts by then, but
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but for fall season, I could go rake some leaves and drink one of these, that's for sure.
That's
Or
exactly.
or sit by a fire. That's probably what I
There we go. There we go. I mean, hell, man, you do what you want to do. It's your life. You live it.
Yeah, man, if I want to break leaves
You
in
want
my
to drink
spare
beer and
time,
make leaves?
that's what I do.
You're a
Hands are all
grown-ass
bloody
man. You can do
from
what you want.
hands are bleeding from all kinds of different things. Now I got calluses from the rake, and yeah. We're going down a
It's
dark
really
path
roughing it.
here. Going down a dark path.
That sounds pretty good, man. I'd be interested in trying that. I kind of too was thinking pecan pie. Pecan, I don't know how I say it. Like once we start discussing like it's pecan or pecan, I'm like, I don't know how I actually normally say it. But
I
I'm
call
leaning
it
more towards pecan right now. Or pecan. Pecan?
I call it pecan. I think a lot of people call it pecan, but I always call it pecan. I don't
I
know.
think I say pecan pie. I don't know. Either way, that's what I was thinking. It was pie flavor, the sweetness. That would be a delicious idea for a beer. There's probably one out there, but that does sound pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous of your fall beers.
Yeah.
So I gotta pick me some of those up.
I looked up William at Hops, and it says it provides a spicy floral and fruity fragrance. So I think that the fact that they kind of used that, I don't know. I don't know what it was. It kind of was detracting from the roasted pecan, kind of flavors, because I'm not really. I think I am getting more just like the floral aspects rather than, a roasted, something that in my head when I think roast, I'm thinking like almost like smoky in a way, but I'm not not really
I
getting
agree.
that yet. So
Nice, man. Well, that
yeah.
sounds delicious. So thanks again to Farmhouse for the beer and Abita Brewery. It sounds like you made a nice, tasty brew. You guys let us know in the comments, have you had the Abita Brewery Pecan Ale? And would you like to try this Farmhouse Brewing Monarch IPA? And just let us know, what have you guys been drinking? But I think it's about time we move into our next segment, UFC Shenanigans. What do you think?
I think you're right, man. I think we had some good beers. Let's talk about some fights. Let's go.